And I had mentioned it.
Sorry, I forgot to do that.
That's what
Keep going.
I had mentioned it to her once. And then when she was talking about insomnia, that's when I had posted about it because she's friends with me on Facebook. And it's more intimidating when there's a group full of nurses that it's like, well, I don't want to say it's like, well, have you thought about gut health or how it's connected or
Yeah. So a couple of quick thoughts. When there is a room full of nurses, that's actually a good time to say it because you're going to get them all like, wait, what? What is she talking about? I love that you posted about it. However, we don't want to post and pray. Just because you're friends
yeah.
on Facebook doesn't mean that she actually sees what you post. And like sometimes she might see most of what you post, but she doesn't see everything you post.
Well, yeah.
So what you want to do kind of in that situation, your friends on Facebook already, you put the post up and then you send her a message like, hey, and it obviously not immediately after you post it because that's weird, but like a few hours later, hey, did you see that post I put up? It made me think of you in that conversation that we had. I just wanted to bring your eyes to it. I think this could be this could be an answer to what you're struggling with. So you're kind of, you're point, you post and then you're like, hey, that thing. Yeah, that thing. So that's kind of a way to start the conversation of like, hey, I just thought of you. That this might relate to what you have going on. Just curious. Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
She's probably gonna say no. And then you can send her the link. And then you follow up and say, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So that's something I absolutely, I do post, like when people give me things, I will post about it, but I also can't just assume they're going to see it or anywhere even close to it. That's what we call it, post and pray. Okay, Crystal, your turn.
I don't know. I mean, I've brought it up. I mean, they see like whatever concoction I have happen to be drinking at work. They're like, "What is that?"
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sitting outside and there's a strange animal sound. um, so I'll explain it to them. I had gotten into the conversation about it the other day with one of the nurses, and just because she was like, "Well, what is that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's the meal replacement, protein meal replacement." And I was like, "It's got zucchini in it, and let's see, I think that day it was zucchini, spinach, uh, collagen, um, it was loaded. I think it had greens in it as well, and
So did you talk to her really about like what you're doing in general with it, or
yeah, well, and I I told her, well, that I've been working on my gut health, and it's like this because then they'll see like the other drinks, like they're like, well, what are you drinking now? And I'm like, oh, it's pink drink, or it's active. And I'd go through, yeah, I used to drink a ton of Mountain Dew, at least a liter during a shift, and then like an amp Mountain Dew or like a rock star or something like that as well.
mm-hmm.
I lived off of it, and now I don't drink that. I still have my Dutch Bros, which is my gift to me. But I go and I try to be healthy. I go try to eat a little healthier. However, I did have a little baggie of Oreos in my lunchbox. She's like, but you're eating Oreos. And I'm like, yeah. You still have to have some pleasure in life.
80-20.
Like
80-20. I had to introduce my husband to what 80-20 meant the other day. He was like,
Or
what's
those
80-20?
crunchy,
I'm like, seriously, you don't know what 80-20 is? He's like,
those
you
crunchy
have to
taco
pretend
frames.
like people are dumb like me. And I'm like, you're not dumb. You just don't know health at all.
but I'd explained to him, it's like, yeah, I was in constant for 20 years. I was in constant back pain. And yeah, a couple different chiropractors, physical therapy. It was just all a temporary fix. And then I was introduced to Plexus and started concentrating more on my gut health. And now I don't have that pain.
Yeah.
And they're just like, huh. All right.
So then you want to ask a question. So this is kind of part of one of the biggest things is people want to be heard. And the best way to have, and one of the best ways, not the best, there's lots of ways to have influence over people, but one of the best ways is to listen and be a good listener. So while they're like, oh, what are you doing? Like whenever someone asks us a question, we answer it, right? You don't just, this thing. Like you have to answer their question. You tell them, you like whatever it is. They're like, tell me more about this. What are the ingredients? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, you answer their question, and then you ask a question. And you listen for the answer. You always need to follow with a question. The person asking the questions is going to be the person running the conversation. You're the one in charge of the conversation. And when you listen intently and ask really good questions, it's going to get their wheels spinning a little bit more. So when someone goes, well, what are you drinking? You're like, this is a pink drink. Have you ever heard of it? So then you start turning it kind of on them. Like you get them talking. They're like, no, I haven't. Like, oh my gosh, I love this. This has helped me so much with that. Does that sound like something you would want? So you're getting them interested. And if you ask the right questions, they will, you're literally going to basically tell them what to say when you ask the right question. Like when you say, this gives me so much energy and mental clarity, and I don't crave, like, yeah, I'm eating these Oreos, but I could do without the Oreos if I wanted. I just want some, like, Oreos sounded kind of good. But I also, I'm not going to go home and eat the entire bag of Oreos. I'm just eating this little tiny baggie, and I'm good for the rest of the day. Does this sound like anything you would want in your life? You think they're going to say no? Probably not. So that's kind of the next step. So when it comes to talking with people, obviously if you're messaging them and they ghost you, there's only so much you can do. Although I also like calling, I call out the elephant in the room sometimes, and it's like, hey, I haven't heard from you. Did you get abducted by the aliens or something? Like you kind of make it funny, and they usually respond. Or you can also be like, girl, if you don't want to talk about it, Plexus, that's totally fine. Like I got no problem. I just want to be your friend. So then you turn it, like you take it off the table. And sometimes like you just kind of ask that question or say that thing to get them to you just want the conversation going again sometimes. So if they're leaving you on red, they're never responding to you, there's something out there. Be funny about it. Like, honey, it's, if you don't buy Plexus, that's fine with me. I still just want to be your friend. Like, seriously, how are you? How have you been? I haven't heard from you in forever. Sometimes I do that. So that's one thing. Also, like Crystal, Joy said that you were having a hard time like getting people to respond to you and you weren't getting any yeses really out of things. You definitely need to play the numbers game. You got to ask a lot of people. 1 in 10 being interested, you're doing good. But we want to capitalize on that 1 in 10. Like, we don't just want them to be interested. We want 1 in 10 to order from us. So asking the right questions and listening to their responses. People will tell you exactly what they want if you ask the right questions and you listen for the answer. Okay. And that's why I'm like, go watch book club because it is so good. Like when it comes to money, I get it. So many people are struggling with money right now. It's a real thing. So one of the things, if they say it's expensive, he has a great way to respond to that. Where I get money, people don't have a lot money for a lot of things, but you can just say, do you not like nice things? Do you not like expensive things? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to say yes. And then you're going to say, what are you spending money on right now that you don't need to? So we can help and then you list their health goals. You always want to like go back to why they want to start on Plexus. What are their pain points?
That was when Kirsten started asking me about the Plexus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Her thing was she had looked into it, and I had told her, okay, well, this is what this right here would cost for the month. And but she's my kid, she's a little easier to talk to as well.
Right.
But she was like, okay, she's like, that's kind of expensive. I go, yeah. I go, but with the health issues that you do have, I go, think of all the money, even though you do have insurance, all the money that you've already put out and the money that you would be putting out in the future,
Mm-hmm.
to get to where you want to be.
Right.
And she's like, well, yeah, you have a point there. I go, so yeah, it's going to cost this much. I go, but you do have your 60-day money back guarantee. So
Mm-hmm.
if you get into it and you're like, yeah, no, you're not liking it. Then she's like, then there's that. I go, you're not losing anything. I go, so how did I put it? Something along the lines of how something to do with like, what is your health worth to you, type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, I think well, three of us know what I think for the most part what my kids' issues are, but
they're mine. They're very similar to mine.
yeah, they're very similar to yours. And because with the fact that with her, not that she needs to have them right now anyways, her inability at the moment to, well, pretty much be able to have kids.
Yeah.
She I was like, you got to think about how much money you'd end up having to put out later on in the future while trying to have one.
Fertility treatments wouldn't even work if she at this point can't carry a child.
Yeah. And she did, when you brought that up, that yeah, you can't, during our conversation, that you can't have right now, the way that your body is, you can't have a kid. That it actually crushed her. But so I went back and told her, reassured her. I was like, no, it's like at the current state that your
at
body
the current
is
state. Yes. I'm pretty sure I said that. I definitely wanted it to be at the current state. I remember
it doesn't mean that you can't. It
right.
just means that the current state that you are in,
Yeah.
you are unable to.
Yeah.
But I also told her too that, hey, when I was close to her age, when I was 19, I was also told that there's a possibility I could never have kids.
I feel like most women have been told that.
And she goes, oh, you were? I go, yeah. And then I got you.
And then you happen. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, she was a little easier to talk to because she was my kid.
Right.
But it's like, I sit there and I'm like, well, how come I can't do that with others that I don't know?
Like, you do have to feel out the relationship. I do believe that we can tough love people in the right way sometimes. Like sometimes you need to have that to come to Jesus of what is your health worth? And
That's how I put it. I
yeah,
was just
and kind of,
like, what's your health worth?
yeah.
Like, can you really put a price on it?
Yeah. And you have to kind of work around how you say that to some people and whatnot for sure. But when you're in a serious conversation with people, sometimes that needs to be like, what is your health worth?
Yeah.
And I love
And
that, like, if you need to make time, you need to invest in your health, or you're going to be investing in your illness.
yeah. Well,
Which
and
one
then
do
it's
you
like
want?
with talking to my husband about it. He's like, well, that's your thing. He's like, that's not mine. And it's like, hey, it's like, I'm trying to take care of my husband, trying to keep it healthy or healthier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in order for him to get him to take the supplements, I put his um Synthroid and then his hypertension medication in with it. And then he's like, I don't even know what you did with my bottles. Because you hide him. You hide him in this stuff because as far as I know, you could be poisoning me. And I'm like, no, it's
Tyler and
healthy
I
for
have
you.
that running joke, but it's very much a joke. People are like, what are you killing me with this time?
Yeah. So it's like, but when I say, well, I'm gonna sign you up for it, and and I go, but you're gonna have to pay for it. He's like, that's your thing. No, no, no. So I think what I'll end up having to do is sign him up for it, but continue to pay for it myself. And be
We'll
like,
work the
here,
system.
it's like, you're signed up. This is what you're getting. Because I get it. Yeah, I screwed up. Right now I'm out of nerve, and I've been out of nerve for like a week, and I'm like,
Yeah, I hate when I run out.
I kind of miscalculated on things, but I'm like, oh, that doesn't work out right.
Okay, so another thing that people need that we touch base on is money, right? And we also just came out of, or we're coming out of, I don't think anyone can say we're out of it. We're coming out of a time where people were super isolated, went through serious depression. There's been money issues going around for a couple years now, and it's going to continue that way because we're in a recession. People need community. What is this? People need hope. They need money. They need community. They need friendships. They need support. They need this.
That's what I was going to bring up when someone had mentioned going to the store to get natural stuff. That, yeah, you can go to the store, but you won't have someone following up with you. You won't have someone checking in with you. You know,
You're also
but
you're not going to get your money back if it doesn't work.
I didn't go into that one on that part.
It's a good one if you think about it. Like,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, but
you
that
can
conversation on, you saw the posts. That conversation wasn't worth it.
Yeah, and in the end, he really didn't, and yeah, he showed his true colors and really wasn't worth it as a true friend to her though either, because he
Yeah,
pretty
unfriended her,
much
didn't he? That's what I heard.
he pretty much unfriended her
he
because
did unfriend her.
I was just like, really? I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I was actually about to block him because I couldn't handle how like he's a dick. Like I just have to say it. Like he's just such a dick and I'm like I don't even want to see him post. He's not even my friend and I'm going to block him.
Yeah. Well, and I told kids Kirsten had was it I think it was Kirsten that I was talking to about it, and I told her, I go, and that's that's the exact reason why you quit hanging out with that group of people in the first place.
She was
So
kind of trying to defend him and she's like he's just really opinionated. I'm like, "No, he's an asshole." And I think he needs some prayers though, so I'm going to pray for him anyways.
Yeah.
But
But I was like, yeah, that's why you quit talking and hanging out with that group, because they always look down on you and put you down.
To make
So,
themselves feel better.
yeah.
So I told Joy, I said, I saw that post, but it was early in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to wait until Michelle wakes up and sees that and let her respond first. And then I'll respond.
On it.
So yeah.
Yes.
Well, the post we're talking about is Crystal's daughter had someone say some negative stuff saying, well, you can go to the store and get some natural products from the store as well. And it's not, yeah.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
in her party too and was all sassy in that too. And I was just like,
Not supportive at all.
no.
Yeah,
No.
troll.
No, his comment was, she was like, I'm having a mental breakdown, and he goes, but plexus ... and I was like, oh. And then he said something else that was like rude all over again. I was like,
You'd be like, well, I have way less of them, but that doesn't mean
that's exactly what she
dog.
said. Yeah, I've had less of them, and like I'm really enjoying it. I'm feeling better. And he was like, you can go to the store and get the same things. Like, no, you can't. You really can't.
You can't get the support. You can't get
the products
follow-up.
either.
You can't get the product. Yes, you can't get the
Like,
products, but yes.
not only can you not get the makeup of our
Mhm.
products, if you tried to make our products, it would cost you so much money. Like, you would be spending thousands of dollars if you try and make Pro Bio 5, it's like well over $100 trying to make it. $37. Thank you.
But then knowing to go, what products to pick out at the grocery store or the natural food stores or whatever, GNC.
Yeah.
And, people that work there, do they really know which ones to pick out?
Chemicals do you want today?
Anyway.
Okay, so
Okay.
homework for you guys. Watch the recording. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I didn't want to forget. She had mentioned the nerve, and so I just wanted to ask, do you have like a graphic or something that has information on that? That's what I really want to get my mom on.
I have a graphic. It is not good. I love Nerve. It is one of our most unrepresented products. I think we might have an info sheet on it now. There is very little out there for Nerve, unfortunately. I just had someone ask me the other day. I have a very basic boring graphic on it that like doesn't really talk about much. I, no joke, had Nerve work a miracle on one of my friends. I don't know if you guys remember the story, but my friend went from living in his hospital bed in his house for 5 years to playing 18 holes of golf in 4 days, all because of Nerve.
My mom's got that weird nerve disorder where like if you touch her, it hurts.
Fibromyalgia.
She has that too, but she also has, this is different. I don't remember what it's called. But like my daughter will like rub her arm and it's like painful. So I want to get her on it. I know right now she just spent all her money on a plane ticket because my sister had her baby, but I want to get her on it sooner than later. And I thought maybe if I like had a graphic and I could like share it on her page and be like, Mom, this is what I want you to try and take. Here's what it does.
Yeah.
That maybe some of her friends might see it too.
I'll send you what I can have on hand.
Yeah. And I can always one if I had like, I guess I could go search. Time.
Yeah.
So like
I have one little graphic and I might have the info sheet saved if we have one. Okay. I can find it pretty quickly.
Okay.
You just reminded me, weirdly, it didn't really have anything to do with that, of something that I want to touch base on, because it kind of came up talking to Kirsten, actually. So she had some people tell her no today. And one of them lives off of energy drinks like 3 to 4 energy drinks a day, like bad. And their excuse was they don't want another bill. And I'm like, Kirsten, you need to go to them and say, you're not going to have another bill. You're actually going to save money. Let's just try this. Let's just try some active, get her a month of active. It's going to be cheaper than what she's spending all of her money on, and just start her there. So sometimes I am all like, I'm 100% about welcome packs, you guys. I put welcome packs. Like I push those down people's throat. Not really. You know what I mean? However, if it comes to making a sale or not making a sale, give them what they need. Give them what they want. Give them what they want, and then we're gonna get them to realize what they actually need. Okay. So while 2 packs of active is not a welcome pack, it's not 100 PB, whatever. If it gets this girl to order and gets her started on her journey with us, that's a start. Okay. So like for your mom, if the only thing we can get your mom to start right now is Nerve, fine. Just get the damn Nerve in her hands. So sometimes we might have to like critique things, or sometimes like I have people that they're like, all I want is slim and active. We don't have a welcome pack that's just slim and active. I kind of wish we did, but if that's all they're going to do and you can't get them to get that one other bottle of something, get them slim and active. Get them a twin pack of active and a bag of slim. It's over 100 PV. It's not a welcome pack. They're going to pay a little bit more for it, but that's what they want. So give it to them. Okay.
I did notice though that my husband is starting to when I wake up, if I wake up after him, I go in and I'll walk in the living room and he's got a bottle, a water bottle with active in it. So he'll wake up in the mornings and because he doesn't have
so
Mountain
my
Dew or
husband's
something
the
like
same
that.
way. My husband is all about flavored beverages. He is great with he loves active. He drives me crazy because he drinks too many of them. He'll drink 2 a day. So a lot of the time I'm like, this is getting expensive. And now you're drinking your slim and you're taking that and you're like, honey, like, but it's better than the other crap I used to use. So I don't care. So like when it comes to your spouses or whoever, if you know, like they are good with these things, make sure they have those things. They have those tools. My husband is terrible with his capsules. I still have his little old man pill tray and I fill it up whenever it gets empty. And every once in a while I have to hand it to him, but it's the best way to get him to like occasionally take them. And I got to give him credit for the occasional. We just give them credit where we can. 7 years and I'm trying, guys.
My husband's been drinking ever since he got his every day. He hasn't said anything, but he drinks. I think he just gave me a power arm.
Yeah, Robbie.
But I know he drinks it every day.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get a lot from him. I've realized that the guys just don't talk about it much. They're just like, yeah, it's good. That's what I get from my husband. Like he did the reset every time he does the reset. I'm like, so what'd you think? Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Oh. Like, what the hell does that mean? How do you have more energy? Like, are you cranky? Do you have less cravings? Like the only thing I got was like when the one time he did it and he was able to take his wedding ring off for the first time in like, I don't know, pretty much since we got married. So it's because his inflammation went down so much. That was like the biggest thing that I got from him. Like, so it's good? You like it? I don't know. My ring came off. Okay, cool. Good job. It's men. Okay, so your homework. Once again, watch the replay. And I also want you to put the replay into action. So you're going to use the replay and you are going to message 10 people this week. That 10 people could be a follow-up. It could be a brand new reach out, whatever. He teaches you exactly what to say. Okay. I want one of those reach outs to be about the business, about the community. Invite someone into this community. And say, and when it comes to the business, and please, if you're like, I have no freaking idea, Michelle, I'm doing what? Just shoot me a message. And basically I'm going to say, tell me about the person. Why would they want to be part of our team? What would they need? What are their pain points? What do you think their pain points would be? And I will help you craft that message because you want to talk to them. So actually, Mandy, if you guys know Mandy, she's one of our girls on the team. She sent me a message today. She's like, I need to learn how to ask like your average stay-at-home moms about the business. And I was like, okay, what does your average stay-at-home mom need? They need to talk to an adult. They need a sense of identity outside of mom, a sense of purpose. They want to make their own money. That's what they're wanting. Every average stay-at-home mom is looking for that kind of stuff. They want an excuse to get out of the house. They want more friends. That is exactly what we have. So when you message them, you can say, if you're not me, it's going to be hard for you guys to say this because you guys aren't stay-at-home moms right now. But you can say, hey, you remind me of my friend Michelle. And I've been a mom. You're probably, you might be, you can say you might be feeling like you are losing a little bit of your identity with being home with the kids all the time and really craving some more adult time, adult conversations, a bigger community, support. And I've actually been able to find that with what I've started. And I see it being something incredible for you. Would you be open to talking about what this could look like? Would you be open to seeing what I have created? Okay. So that's as you want to think about what this person is dealing with and how we're going to help them on that. It's the same thing when you send them a message of like, hey, I'm trying these products. They help my blah, 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 because you think they might be dealing with blah, 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 blah. Would you want to look at it? Are you open to checking it out? Can I send you some information? Same thing. Make sense? Okay. Questions on homework? Is anyone going to pee their pants doing their homework? I got one yes. Valerie, are you good? Yeah. We've got
I just gotta figure out who I'm gonna message because I hate, and I know everybody says I hate cold messaging people.
It's only a cold message if you don't have a relationship with them.
Right,
and
but if I don't have a relationship with them, like I've got
so when I say relationship
on my Facebook, but I only talk to 10 of them.
So if you added them on Facebook and you never sent them a message before, no idea who they are, they don't know who you are, that is a cold message.
Right.
If you went to school with them 20 years ago, that would not be a cold message.
Unless I haven't talked to them in 20 years. Well,
it technically would still not be a cold message. I never ever want a cold message. You can message someone that you haven't talked to in a really long time and say something that would pique their interest and not feel like a cold message, but it needs to come from the heart. And I always do that as a voice message for many reasons.
I try to randomly message people on my Facebook, at least 3 people a day.
I love that.
And it's never anything. Like it'll usually, like, I'll go to people's stories and then I'll respond to like their stories and interact with them that way. And then when they respond back, I'll like start a conversation. And it's always nonchalant, but
so you need to think about, how do I take this from being nonchalant to like a real relationship? So I actually messaged someone today, just a little bit ago while I was laying in bed with my kiddo. It was a pregnancy announcement. I message everyone that has had any big announcements. I comment on their post and I try and make it a comment that not just that, oh, that's great, congratulations, woohoo. Yeah, I put something to it and then I send them a personal message. It is so easy when someone's like, I'm having a baby. Oh my gosh, girl, it's so exciting. So easy. So the girl who put up this, like, we're having a baby, I always try and figure out, like, who is this person? Like, I was like, I don't know who this person is. I went and I pulled up Messenger. I've never sent her a message before. And so I have no joke, I stalked her for a little bit. And I straight up sent her a message and said, your pregnancy post popped up on my timeline, and then I have to admit that I kind of went and I was like, who is this person? She is married to a guy that actually was in my sister's class. I grew up with his mom was one of the people that worked at our school. Like, I know the whole family. And so I messaged her. I'm like, I just realized you're Jake's wife. Oh my gosh, I love that family. I'm so excited for you guys. And she messaged me back like right away. And we started, we chatted. And I'm going to keep messaging her. You better believe I'm going to keep messaging her. So you want to find something that you can relate to. And sometimes it might be hey, tell me about what you do for a living. And then they're going to ask you, what do you do for a living? And you guys all have multiple things. And you can say, well, I'm a CNA at night. And by the day, I actually help support people heal their bodies and give them hope. It's really incredible. Curious, do you have any health goals? Curious, have you ever heard about gut health? Curiosity is a really, really, really good way to get people talking. You want to be curious in what they're saying. That's a really good listening. If you're listening, you're showing curiosity and asking the right questions and being curious about all the things that they're saying. Oh my gosh, tell me more about that. I'd love to hear more about what you do, why you're passionate about it. Where did your kids get their names? Those are such cool names. There's weird names out there these days. So just really going into and digging into that conversation.
My sister just named her baby Arlo.
Arlo? I can't do Arlo. I went to school with a kid that was a total druggie. He, no joke, got caught with drugs when we were in 7th grade. I went to a private Catholic school, you guys, in this little tinky, well, you guys, I'll see. You guys know small town. It's not that small. But he tried to say he found them on the playground. Such a dumbass. That's why I can't do Arlo.
I think, what did we decide? It was it's the crocodile off of one of the little kids cartoons.
Isn't it the Good Dinosaur?
I don't think so. It's a
Google it now.
Yeah, I can't remember, but she's got 2 other little girls. So my sister now has 3 under 3.
Oh my gosh. God bless her. She needs some Lexus.
I know, I'm working on her, but
say don't give up on working on her.
Deidre
got 3 of her sisters on it.
Oh, now it freezes again.
She's talking about you.
I don't remember. I was just saying it's a off one of the kids shows, and she let the 3-year-old name him.
I let my kids name our ducks.
Right?
That's kind of where I draw the line. They helped pick out our dog's name. Helped, kind of, sort of. I even vetoed the dog they picked out. No, we're not getting that one. I don't like that one. I want that one.
That's funny.
Okay. You guys got your homework? Any questions? Nope.
Just a reminder, don't forget to send it to us.
Your homework?
Yeah. The video.
Oh, that. Yes, I actually wrote it down. I got it. I will send the video, the book club recording. I will send this recording, and then I will also highlight what your homework is too. Okay. All right. Good to see you, ladies. We'll chat in the chat, and I'll see you next week. Okay.
Bye-bye.